Lights tonight at Kentucky Speedway as the sun set. The action has been building. We have a total of 5 leaders, 6 lead changes, but we also have now 10 cars with damage in this race or that have pulled behind the wall with other various issues. The last one being Morgan Shepherd. We can tell you he did walk away from the car under his own power. There he was climbing out, the 69-year-old, one of the fittest 69-year-olds you'll ever find. So good news for Morgan, but bad news, as we said, for his race car. We've knocked down 109 laps here out of 200, and problems for Elliott Sadler as they came back in to pit road, and they were pounding under the left or the right rear wheel. We're checking right now to get the details on it. He has now dropped back farther in the field, which is a break for Reed Sorensen. Remember, these two are 1-2 in the points. And let's take a look at the 30 car right now, as there is Reed, and he has not had much success in the times that he has run in this car. Remember the wedge wrench right there. And here's the radio.
Give us much time to talk, did they?
Well, you got to come back to me, bud. Something every week. Get the wedge wrench out of the damn window and get the adjustment right.
You're just kidding, right?
I'm not kidding. I'm sorry, dude.
No, you're just kidding.
Let's take a look at the graphic on how he's done when he's in the 32 versus the 30. This is the last time he's got to run this 30 car, and you can see absolutely no top 10s, 12 of them, including the win at Road America when he's in the 32 car. He has taken the high road on this. I asked him this morning, I said, you know, did you ask or did you insist, hey, keep me in the 32? He says, no. He says, that was the plan all along. This is my last race, and we're a team. And guys, what do you think?
Well, I think in the big picture, you can have Mark Martin in that car and what that does to bring sponsorship to the team. I think in the big picture, it helps the team, and I think that Reed's smart enough to understand that. And although he doesn't want to get out of that 32, it's been good to him this year.
Yeah, and anytime you make a change like that as a driver, it's an adjustment. But as you said, Reed is doing a very nice job of handling this entire situation and is still going to come out of here with a very good chance of winning this championship.
Well, we got the update on what happened to Elliott Sadler, and he is coming back into the pit lane. And Vince, what have you got?
Well, the night started so promising for Elliott Sadler, led the first 8 laps, but they've been having some issues. They thought maybe the track bar mount was broken, but they have found now that it is just rubbing. Let's find out more about that and how you address it with Tim Brewer in the Craftsman Tech Garage.
Thanks, Vince. First of all, when you're lowering that track bar, what you're trying to do is move the pivot point all the way down to this area right here. But by doing that, you put a phenomenal amount of pressure on the tire, meaning the deflection. As the tire adheres to the racetrack, it moves the sidewall closer to this area right here. And if they had it down there and they had a tremendous amount of load and side force on that car, it was actually rubbing the side of the sidewall of the tire. Guys?
All right, thank you, Tim. Let's update you on some other issues. Lucky Dog went to David Ruderman. Remember, he was 2 laps down, 1 wave around, and now the Lucky Dog gets him back on the lead lap. We have 23 cars on the lead lap. There's Edwards and Kyle Busch. They're in row number 2 behind Keselowski and Harvick. And then further back, you can see as the cars come down the front straightaway, Keselowski took the high side, as everybody has done tonight. We're green again here at Kentucky.
Has, but through 1 and 2, he's been able to really just fly through there wide open and get the lead in the exit turn 2. But it looks like Keselowski's going to work him on the high side here.
We still have them 3 wide coming through 3 and 4. A little bit further back in the field as here they come for the stripe. Who's going to lead lap? And it looks like Keselowski does maintain the position.
Yeah, Harvick tried to get in the gas, did get in the gas really hard, really early, but his car jumped up the racetrack, wasn't able to stay in the throttle, and Brad got the lead back.
So it's Harvick, Edwards behind Keselowski, and then Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. That's your top 5. How about if we check in on Trevor Bayne trying to go around Joey for that spot? And behind him, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Remember when he was a lap down after cutting the tire? He is side by side with Jason Leffler in the 38 and Mark Martin back to life in the 32. He's running in 9th. Joey managing to hold off the 16 of Bayne.
Yeah, you can see just how rough that 16 car of Trevor Bayne really bouncing across there and just not able to put the throttle down.
While this action continues, Dr. Jerry Punch is caught up with Morgan Shepherd.
Well, Marty Morgan just told me he is okay coming out of the hospital, but he is very, very angry. Morgan, what happened?
Well, to tell you the truth, I couldn't really tell who it was, but they tell me it was the 40 car that got into me and started pushing me. If they would have let me go, they knocked me sideways there a couple times and just kind of stayed into me, and it just lost it from being banged around.
It was the 40 car, we're being told, Morgan. Your car repairable now for next week?
Nah, it's not for next week. It won't be. I had to go to my backup car, but, you know, this is tough. We operate with just what we get at the track, and I've had 4 bad weeks now, and this is just hard.
Morgan Shepherd, a veteran of this series the past 29 years. Marty?
Yeah, and Morgan, a fan favorite just for that reason, Jerry. As you pointed out, he comes because he loves to race. He's not making a fortune off of this by any stretch of the imagination. Out on the track, Stenhouse and his teammate Trevor Bayne going door to door as they're knocking each other down for that 6th position. And Stenhouse, he's got himself a good race car.
I think he's got a really fast car. He's had to really fight back trying to get back from that flat tire. And he's using a lot of race car to get back to the front. I think if he gets there, he's got something for the leader.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing right there. He had a good friend in Trevor Bayne, too, because he used up a lot of racetrack in making that pass. But he does have a fast car.
Well, let's get an update on Trevor Bayne. Jamie, what are you hearing?
Well, you guys, when these Roush cars unload each weekend, the 16 is different than the 6 and the 60. Well, tonight his car has been ill handling, so they've actually gone to the air pressure adjustments that the 6 and the 60 have done. A big swing, something this team doesn't usually do, and it's helping. The car has come to life. As you see Michael Annette on your screen there on the left side battling with Reed Sorensen.
And Sorensen's going to take that spot away from him, Jamie, and Sorensen rallying back. He has moved into the 13th position.
I really like the way that Reed has handled that. You know, he could have blown up, got mad about the wrench being stuck in there and having to start back in 20th and actually have to start behind the lap cars. He got that break with that caution now, and he's able to move his way back into the top 15.
What's really helped him is Elliott Sadler's issues, because Sadler's back in 20th. And so that's helping him in the points battle. Checking in on Casey Kane and Justin Allgaier. That is for the 10th spot on the racetrack. Meanwhile, as we go back to the front of the field, there is the 22 of Brad Keselowski. And right now, fastest lap times. In fact, he's turning them in right now, Vince. What's the story?
Well, you know, when your car is really good, drivers just seem to be in a great mood. I'm sure DJ can relate to that. Right now, he's using, Keselowski's using phrases like smoking fast and rocket ship in describing his car. Says he feels like it's getting faster every lap. So he's in a pretty good mood as he was talking about a recent restart and how he handles it.
Kyle just said you got some goofed restarts. You've been watching him too long. Man, I haven't done anything goofy yet. Ain't seen nothing yet, man. I've been just nice, slow, steady. This way they say it should be in the rule book, man. You know me, man. Just legal beagle. Oh, yeah. All right, you're the president.
Brad Keselowski having some fun with his spotter, Joey Meyer. These guys have been spot on all night long. He's been third here the last 2 years. He's got a car that's going to be better than that if he can keep it going the way he's had it the last several laps.
And Vince, this is the most laps that Brad has led in a race since he led 83 back in his last win at Gateway in October of last year. And he's led 54 tonight.
Yeah, and you know, I think something that's helping him, because this 22 car, they've struggled some this year in this series. I believe what they found with the 22 and 2 on the Cup side, they've transferred some of that over here, and I believe that's a big benefit. So watch for those two Dodges to be fast tomorrow night, too.
Yeah, you're starting to see some of that crossover from the Cup technology over here, because these cars are more similar. They're not the same. They have a lot of things that are different, but they are more similar to the Sprint Cup cars this year.
Rusty, you've got an observation on temperature?
Yeah, Marty, we talked about that when it gets cool out here, the cars really get much quicker. When it gets nighttime, it's going to change a lot. Well, we've been monitoring Brad Keselowski. He qualified at a 31.17 lap. He just ran a 31.06. Right now, he's running faster in race condition than he did in qualifying. So that's how much speed is in the track right now. And you can see the lights are on here at the Speedway. The track temperature is cooling down big time. And as Andy well knows and DJ does, things are going to change the way these cars handle. So the next 78 laps, in my opinion, are going to be very, very crucial. These guys are really going to think what they need to do to keep up with the changing track conditions.
Good Good observation, Rusty, as you watch Brad Keselowski. He has a 2.1 second lead over Kevin Harvick. Harvick's led 57 laps, and now I should say Keselowski's now led 57, Harvick 56. Quarterfinals of the FIFA Women's World Cup begin on ESPN Saturday. 2 games. First, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. It's England against France. And at 2:15 p.m., it's Germany and Japan. FIFA Women's World Cup on ESPN Saturday. Both games are available also on ESPN3.com. Here at the Kentucky Speedway, Brad Keselowski has got a 1.7 second lead over Kevin Harvick. A total of 23 cars still on the lead lap, and 10 cars are out of this race. In third place, you've got Carl Edwards. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the move. He is up to 4th. He has gotten around Kyle Busch, who started dead last in this field. There's Logano, Bain, Leffler, Martin, and Kane, your top 10. Now let's check in as we go up to speed from 11 on back. And for Justin Allgaier, he'd like to give his crew chief, Jimmy Elledge, a birthday present. He's going to turn 41 next Thursday, but what do they got to do it, Vince?
Well, they got to get a race car that handles a little better than what they've been dealing with throughout the course of the night tonight. It's been wicked loose for Justin Allgaier, who won at Chicagoland last month, almost won at Road America a couple of weeks ago, had a solid 5th place finish last week at Daytona, but they have been trying to get a handle on this car. They changed track bar, they've made shock adjustments, they've done a little bit of everything to try to tighten this thing up, but it hasn't been easy for Justin Allgaier in the 31. Dave Burns?
Vince, he just got past Casey Kane in that green number 7. And he hasn't been feeling that great about the handling, but he just radioed in about 3 laps ago. You know, the better I run, the longer I run, the better it gets. I seem to be gaining grip. Could it be that nighttime thing Rusty was talking about?
Put it up high. Now just come back down. Watch it. Right there in front of you. Keep coming. Keep coming.
23 of Robert Richardson has smashed the back half of that car.
Yeah, he definitely shortened it up that time.
Second incident that he has been involved in. Remember the last one he was in with Brian Scott, and that looks like a hybrid right now.
Yeah, he finished it off there. Woo. Man, look at that.
Looks like an old Volkswagen.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good lick.
So this is our 5th caution, as we are now with 67 laps to go, and it looks like Robert's not going to be able to get it back to pit lane. Now, 67, that's still outside the window for being able to make this.
Yeah, but you're going to have to set yourself up for the end of the race. You need to make a pit stop here to kind of set the stage for maybe making a late race gas stop.
All right, here's the view we have as we go on board with Jason Leffler now. Keep an eye up front.
See, up in that gray area right there, he was trying to give those cars below him a little bit of room, but
gave him a little too much
grip. Yes.
And we mentioned how it looked at the end result.
It's about 3 feet shorter than it started.
I can tell you Derek Cope's going to get the lucky dog, but he's 2 laps down. He'll be 1 lap down after this. And as they come down pit road, let's send it to Jamie Little.
Well, Kevin Harvick didn't really want to change any tires, and his crew chief said, let's change 4. And then they decided, let's take 1 can of fuel, and we'll do right sides only. Still a little bit too free, but he wants to get some track position here. Doc?
Middle of your screen, Carl Edwards, and it's okay under throttle, but it's loose off throttle when I'm rolling in. So they're going to put 4 tires on it, 2 rounds down in the left rear. Bottom of your screen, Ricky Stenhouse, also chassis adjustment on the 6 car, 4 tires. Remember, Stenhouse has come all the way from the back of the pack into the top 5. Vince.
The 22 of Brad Keselowski, you saw him just go by your screen. Fuel only. They put a piece of tape on the grill. They believe their tires are good all the way to the end, but they might need a splash.
Race off pit road. Keselowski and Harvick maintain station. As you see, 9 positions picked up by Reed Sorensen. Now we can tell you Joe Nemechek stayed out. We'll see if he stays out even longer.